Do you remember the Pelicans had that really, really slow start? The Pelicans started out way below expectations, but recently, if you're not paying attention, they've been winning basketball games. The latest was against the Pistons, so it doesn't really count, but they did get a nice contribution from Lonzo Ball with 17, 12, and 9. And remember that guy, Jahlil Okafor, 25 and 14 from someone who was a little bit of a castaway from the 76ers. Jalen, the Pelicans are winning basketball games. Do you think they can make a run and get themselves out of the lottery this season?
Potentially, and that all is going to hinge on what happens with Zion Williamson. But for that basketball game to be taking place in Detroit, Michigan, I have to always acknowledge the score of the game and the game of life. There are a lot of players and businesses that come through my hometown that don't find the time, energy, or the passion to give back. Shout to Andre Drummond for being a consistent contributor and supporter of JRLA. With that being said, you said the key to the Pelicans on floor right now. Lonzo Ball been playing like a top-tier player.
Yep.
That's what I expect from a guy that allowed me to be adopted into their family. I have expectations not only of him for that reason, but he a big guard. And he went number 2 overall. I expect this. I'm happy to see him. And how many times did I come on this show and defend Jahlil Okafor when I felt like the Sixers unceremoniously benched him?
For years and years and years. For years.
And shout to Alvin Gentry for taking these reclamation projects and turning these guys into confident NBA performers. Now I need to see some consistency like I've seen from Brandon Ingram.
Well, Lonzo Ball is expecting Zion Williamson to come back. How do I know that? Because he threw this alley-oop. Just take a look at this errant pass from Lonzo, who had 9 assists. Could have had 10 if this one looked a little bit better and got himself a triple-double. He's just waiting for Zion. He's just waiting for Zion to come back. But Jalen Rose, there is something that happened during this game that I really need to talk to you about. And when there is video that we need to break down in detail, you and I need to go to the table. Jalen, just watch this tape and you talk me through it. You give me the play-by-play on what you see on the screen because it is some of the most fascinating tape I've ever seen from an NBA game in my life. That is Zion Williamson, number 1 pick of the draft. What's he doing? What's he doing?
So I'm going to tell you exactly what he's doing. First off, so many people been coming to New Orleans over the last couple of weeks. And I know they're on the road trip. I know he was in Detroit. But you can't tell me if he spent days, minutes, hours there over this last couple of weeks, people ain't been hitting him up. Somewhere to crash. Can he get tickets? Can he hook them up with where to go to eat at? Can he help them out with hotels? Blowing up his phone. And here's the other thing, Jacoby. He recovering from an injury. And that rehab is tough. He been working hard between the leg dunks.
Remember you were talking about how Andre Drummond's giving back to the community? Zion was giving back to the community of Detroit the night before that game. That's what it seems like to me. It seems like Zion was also giving back to the community of Detroit the night before that game. All season long when we talk about the Thunder and the surprising way that they've managed to win games without Russell Westbrook and without Paul George, we talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We've been talking about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander all season long, and now everyone is. Why? Because he put on a show yesterday against the Timberwolves. Not only did he have 20 points, not only did he have 20 assists, he had 20 rebounds to go along with that. And he's a guard. Jalen, what do you think about SGA's breakout performance last night against the Timberwolves?
You know our theme for this program is to give the people what they want. And
that is a fact.
What we take pride in doing is going deeper into the box score, introducing you to people before they actually become mainstream stars. So we took pride in talking about the Nuggets and Jokic and Pascal Siakam. One of our guys last year in the playoffs got traded this offseason, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And it flew under the radar for everybody. And now all of a sudden, this young guy who's lanky, I love his court demeanor. I love his awareness to track down balls and grab 20 boards, but also his court sense that he can still score, he can still get you dimes, and he doesn't look rattled. I like the same maturity that somebody like Luka plays with.
Yep.
He has that also. A calmness about himself, never seems to really get sped up, more athletic than you probably give him credit for. He's going to be a terrific player in this league.
He really is, and he's a very, very young man, too. The youngest to ever have a 20-rebound triple-double, and he's not that big. He probably weighs less than I do, which isn't saying that much, to be honest.
What's up? Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. Don't forget to download the ESPN app, and if you want more premium content, which you do, make sure that you subscribe to ESPN+. See you soon.